Hey nerds, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Today we're talking about Marvel's What If episode or season. Oh man, I've already screwed it up. Season 1, episode 5. We've got some Marvel cinematic news, teasers, and speculation about what's to come for you. And don't miss out. This is the FOMO Show. All right, guys, I am Dylan.
I'm Quinn.
And like we said, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us tonight. Whether watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, please hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that little bell icon so that you know when we drop new videos and when we go live and all that fun stuff. Also, don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.picturesno.com. Alright, so special notes. Happy birthday to the one and only, the best co-host in the world, Quinn. How old are you yesterday, my man?
Well, I was. Hold on.
God, how old you are? And welcome to being an adult.
Hold on. Oh, come on.
You were joking. You're serious.
Okay. I am now 336 months old. Yes.
Okay. I thought you were going to
That's
say dog years or something.
Oh, no. 336 months old, which translates into 28 years. So, yay.
Man, wrapping up your 20s.
Yeah,
next year you'll
wrapping
hit
them
29
up.
and just kind of stay there for a while.
Next 3 years. How old are you? 29? Still?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
It's crazy how that happens.
All right, so, excuse me. If you did hear that, that's just a little cough left over from COVID a few weeks ago. So with that in mind, I apologize if that gets on your nerves or whatever. But I also have to say, just get vaccinated, mask up, be safe. Wish you safety and health and all that stuff to you and your family. Just be safe out there. It still is a deadly pandemic happening out in the world, even though in some places it doesn't feel like it anymore.
Florida.
Arkansas.
Man, that's bad.
It's been how many weeks now? Like weeks and weeks? Yeah. A little over 2 weeks since I got out of quarantine for COVID, and I still have this dry cough. Go, keep on going. And also like Delta is like, it's crazy because like there's some like extra symptoms and stuff. Like there was like 2 days where I just couldn't hear out of my ear, and I was like, well, I guess I'm deaf now. It was just, it's like one of the crazy new symptoms. It's wild. No fun. So yeah, stay safe and all that good stuff.
No bueno.
And I am vaccinated, and I still caught it. So, but luckily it wasn't bad. It was just like crazy. It just didn't feel good stuff. Luckily, no hospital visits or anything like some other people. Going. Let's try to segue into something more upbeat now. We've got some background music now playing. If you guys can hear that, just to add a little
Zaz Terez.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
this will be the last week that is behind me. The next time that I'm here, there'll probably be a painting behind me. We're rearranging a painting. We're rearranging. I'm rearranging. I say we. I made this decision. Rearranging some of the wall things to just rearrange it. I've been looking at it for the same. It's been the same for a while. So
You made this decision yourself, or you've consulted your wife?
we got more paintings, so I'm putting more paintings on the wall.
Okay, I was like, bro.
So filling these walls slowly yet surely.
All right, I'm gonna kick it over to you for the you know what.
Yes. Let's get a good old countdown going. 3, 2, 1. If you haven't left now, it's too late. Well, kinda. But this is your spoiler alert. In this episode, we are going to be talking about Marvel What If Zombies. So if you haven't watched that, pause this, go watch that, and then come back. Unless you like being spoiled. You have been warned.
Eat locals.
Yes.
I found that for $1 at the Goodwill, so it's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of it. Yep. Somebody lost some high-class item there. Yeah. All right, so just a little bit of MCU news to cover, just, you know, because this is the FOMO show, MCU edition, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Cinematic Universe. Even it's crazy how many people still don't know what MCU means. I've said that to people, and they're like, "What is that? What does that mean?" It's like, I'm living under a rock, because it's everywhere. It's literally taken over modern media.
Those are your casual viewers. Those are your extra casual viewers.
Yeah, the normies, I guess.
Extra casual.
So, as you guys know, the Black Widow lawsuit is still ongoing, and it's just getting dumber and dumber. The new CEO of Disney is royally dropping the ball and saying stupid stuff, and it's just gotten worse. Like, news has come out that before Black Widow dropped on Disney Plus, that because Scarlett Johansson was a executive producer, she's entitled to a certain amount of the income of the gross and all that kind of stuff. So they sent an offer and said, "Hey, if you're going to drop it on streaming, here's what we want. This is going to be our take. Here's an offer." And they didn't even answer. They didn't even answer back. So it was like they just set themselves up for a lawsuit.
They just looked at it and said, "That's cool. Go ahead and drop that, please."
Yeah. So I mean, legally, Scarlett Johansson is in the right in so many ways. It's ridiculous at this point, to where like Kevin Feige has come out in support of her. Benedict Cumberbatch has come out in support of her. Of course, her friend Chris Evans.
Captain America.
Yeah. Man, it's just.
I guess I should say the original Captain America now.
Yeah, Steve Rogers. So much so that it has even revealed things that we didn't know, that we speculated was coming, which was we speculated that the way the MCU is going right now with the multiverse thing, that we're headed toward a Secret Wars, as like, you know, last set of phases was the Infinity Saga, Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet, all that kind of stuff based on that comic series. And from what we could gather, we were speculating that we're moving toward the Secret Wars comic saga. But nothing was confirmed However, now, so the Russo brothers, who directed, the Russo brothers directed Cap 2, Cap 3, which was Civil War, and the last two Avengers movies. So, big chunk of what made the MCU great in the past 10 years. And they kind of got, just like, okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to do some other stuff. We've done a lot. This has been a huge chunk of our life for a long time now. And so they were going to do like Magic the Gathering for Netflix and all this kind of stuff. Then they dropped out. And it was like, okay, well, what's going on? And nothing surfaced until recently, where apparently okay, let me also not leave out this information. They said the only real movie that would bring them back to the MCU, that they were really the only thing they were interested in doing, would be the Secret Wars storyline. That's really the only thing that would bring them back to the MCU, because they were kind of burnt out. They wanted some time away and all that kind of stuff, which is understandable. So it just recently came out that they were in talks with Marvel over a movie deal. But now, because of Disney's handling of Black Widow with Scarlett Johansson, those talks are breaking down. Which, that's a big deal.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, it could end up turning... Oh, it could be the end of the downfall of the MCU if this keeps going south. I mean, I don't think the people who've been there for a while, like Kevin Feige and maybe some of the other producers and some of the folks who are still veterans of the MCU, might, step in to try and help mend it. Because we know that the actors, the stars themselves, do have a bit of pull. Tom Holland being up there just like, hey, my name is Tom Holland, aka Clout Machine Magician, so can we just fix this, please? And then they were like, yeah, high five, everybody's fine. And now Spider-Man can go between Sony and Marvel. So we'll see what happens, I think. But there's going to be a lot of apologies going around regardless of how this goes.
Yeah, this new CEO, he'll get fired before they lose the MCU, because Kevin Feige will raise hell. And as the Marvel Studios is a juggernaut right now. Yeah. No pun intended, actually. And so
because they have him back now, so yeah.
Yeah, if this, this is already having a negative effect on, they're about to lose the Russo brothers over this, who brought them the biggest movie of all time. Yeah. Like, this new CEO is about to lose his job. Like, heads are about to roll.
His job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heads are about to roll. This is not going to happen. And Bob Iger, who ran Disney before him, who stepped into like a different type of role where it's more kind of in the background and all that kind of stuff.
He shows.
Papa Iger is not going to be happy. He's not going to let this fly.
No, not at all.
Who's like the king of marketing and handling things in the public eye.
Yeah. And Disney don't like that bad PR.
No. Mm-mm. Can't be hurting the mouse.
No.
Their stocks are going to go...
Come in. Just be like, oh, listen up. I need this for gone, and I need you to take his job. Oh. Goofy, handle my lightweight.
Okay. So yeah, things are gonna, pun intended, heads are gonna roll. Alice in Wonderland. Which also reminds me that the freaking Matrix trailer dropped today. There's so many trailers, like the new Dexter season trailer dropped, and I've just so much going on. My little nerd mind is overwhelmed.
PlayStation had their showcase.
Yes.
Where they showcased a lot of things, and a lot of them are way out there. Like Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, that's the official title, doesn't come out until 2023. But in the teaser that they gave, they said not like Peter Parker, he'll be returning as Peter Parker. Miles Morales will be with Peter, and then the voiceover that they had going sounded like Morbius, but I mean it was until they went to the shadows and then Venom popped out. So it looks like you'll be able to play as Peter, Miles, and the version of Venom they're probably going to do, which, if you play the first one, we already gave you a spoiler for everything. Wait, Dylan, are you ever going to play the first one?
I don't have a PlayStation yet.
Okay, I'll spoil it for you.
I mean, you already gave the spoiler warning, so I mean that includes me.
Yeah. Which is going to be, what's his face? Harry Osborn, most likely.
Don't tell Harry.
Don't tell Harry. So it'll be interestingly announced a Wolverine game that's going to be coming out later, and
so that makes me think that things are going well between Marvel and Sony. That Sony is getting exclusive rights to Marvel characters for their video games.
And at some point in time, the Marvel Avengers game that came out on multiple platforms for PlayStation should be getting an exclusive Spider-Man character. So,
because Avengers is not exclusively on PlayStation, correct?
It is not. That is correct.
So this moving forward with other characters like Wolverine, who is not part of the Sony deal of where they have Spider-Man,
Yes.
So, little give, little take.
We'll give, we'll take. And then who knows if they're going to have anything exclusive for this Guardian of the Galaxy game as well. So, universe building on all fronts.
Yeah. If they're smart and they play their cards right, they'll understand this means big money for everybody. And big happy for the fans. So,
yeah. And they announced at this current moment, it looks exclusive. But this is just kind of Disney, Sony news. At this moment, it looks exclusive to PlayStation, a remake of Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, which is super cool. I freaking love that game.
I have it on my Xbox. Both of them.
Nice. Yeah. That's like one of the games that really started getting me into RPGs.
Yeah. It's one of the games that really started getting me into Star Wars. I mean, I was already there, but then I was like, oh, there's more? Oh, okay, I'll keep playing this. And then the movies come out and I get sad. So, that's all I had on that.
All right. So, also Venom 2, which technically isn't MCU yet, necessarily. As things move forward, it's Sony's universe of Marvel characters. It's not really called the Spun-C anymore. It's Sony's Spider-Man universe. So the SSU. But it is connected in that we know that Spider-Man will be able to jump universes. That's already been confirmed by Kevin Feige. So it's around the corner. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage was moved back, and now it's moved back up to October 1st. Shang-Chi has blew it out the box at the box office and is killing it. We saw that over the weekend. I thought it was pretty great. It was a lot of fun. We might talk about that after. Depends on how things go. Excuse me. I didn't talk to him about that. I'm just throwing that out there. Usually we do we haven't done it in a while, but we usually come out of the theater and do a little review, just like a first off the top of our head type thing. But
off of our brains.
Yeah.
Well,
COVID is nasty right now, so keeping that social distance.
Well, yeah, if we get to it, I'll tell you how I feel. Movie was great. It was very, very anime of Marvel. That's what I was getting the feel of the entire time.
Yeah.
But also, I now dislike it. But, and it made me hate Iron Man 3 more. I won't say hate. It made me diss Iron Man 3 to a point where I'm like at the door of hate. I knock on it. I crack it open. I'm like, hey, is Iron Man 3 in there? And then realize he's like right at the door trying to get out. I'm like, no, you can just stay in there. I'll think about it.
So that's a teaser for Quinn's review, possibly later in the show. More to come, maybe.
More to come.
Hang around. All right. So, also, another thing that we wanted to do, or I wanted to do, was kind of break down the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. But it's been forever now, and everybody's already pulled through that so many times. It's probably too late in the game, even though it would be fun for me. There was a big debunking in one of the big fan theories. You know that scene where Peter is sitting in the interrogation room with the police and all that kind of stuff, and the man throws the files down on the thing, and there's like hairy arms, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's Charlie Cox. That's Daredevil right there," because he was rumored to have been on set, near set during the time of filming, as well as Deborah Ann Wall, who was also in Netflix's Daredevil, because they're unconfirmed. All these other characters on top, we know that we're getting Jamie Foxx's Electro back. Of course, we know we're getting Doc Ock back. Green Goblin has been teased. Yeah. So Willem Dafoe, Albert. I almost said Albert. I want to say Molina, but that's not right. That might be.
Who? What the?
Doc Ock. I can't think of his name. Anyways, I'm drawing a blank on that name. But that's neither here nor there. Moving on. Those are not Charlie Cox's arms in that scene, because the IMAX trailer showed the full person, and that is one of the cops. So, boo-hoo. That little tease has been debunked. However, that does not mean that he's not in the movie, y'all. So, fingers are still crossed.
Yes. But, you know.
Yeah.
I don't trust that. You can't trust that trailer anyway. That trailer's a lie. The trailer was nothing but... Like,
I mean, and they've done it before with an Infinity War, like Hulk running, and he didn't even turn into Hulk in that entire movie.
He didn't even turn into Hulk. They did with Thor Ragnarok. Hela was supposed to meet Thor in an alley, and he crushed him. Didn't happen. It's a lie. Everything in the trailers are a lie.
It's a teaser. That's all it is. It's not meant to exactly replicate the movie.
What's it called?
And
go back and watch a Shang-Chi trailer and see how much of that was a lie.
Probably. Andrew Garfield has come out again in a Variety interview denying that he's in that movie. He said, it's something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, it is very important that I say on the record that I am not aware that I am in this movie. Or something like that. It was like verbal gymnastics where it's like, I'm in this movie, but I cannot... You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm saying I'm not in this movie. It's very important that I say on the record that I'm not in this movie. On the record.
You see a red dot on his forehead.
Yeah, Kevin Feige up into the rafters there. He's like, I'm too busy handling the Black Widow situation right now. You better handle this.
Kevin Feige gives a call to Jeremy Renner. I need you to handle the situation for me. Yes, Garfield. Make sure he says what he's supposed to say.
Garfield.
Garfield.
Is that what you said? Oh, Andrew Garfield. Go.
Andrew Garfield. Yeah.
I was like, Garfield, what?
Garfield the cat.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Renner, he's Hawkeye, and he was born agent.
Oh yeah,
so,
he was.
Not Jason Bourne, but you know what I mean. That's the same.
Yeah, he was
I
part
can't
of the
even-
Bourne Project. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bourne Project. Yeah. Well, I mean, that one wasn't bad, even though he's not Matt Damon. Still. Anyways. All right, so that's all I've got for the MCU news in general. Just trying to cover, since this is MCU edition, just the MCU in it, you know, greater, proper. All right, so pass it off to you, Quinn, for the episode intro.
Oh, okay. Okay. Marvel's What If? Zombies!
I wish I could see your arms flailing.
When the Avengers are infected by a zombie plague, surviving heroes search for a cure.
Yeah, that's the official description on Disney Plus.
Well, so yes, Marvel Zombies, the long-awaited episode that everybody and someone's grandma has been wanting.
So, just to kind of prime the pump on the Marvel Zombies and how important this is to the MCU and Marvel, will you give us a little breakdown
Of how important the zombies are?
Yeah, of just the I can't think of the
original
word.
story? Because
Yeah, like how important it is to the Marvel universe.
So, as far as the importance to the Marvel universe, the zombies are the single greatest threat, and a number of characters have said this, single greatest threat to the multiverse proper. Because
Yeah, also including Uatu, who is the Watcher narrator in this series.
So not only do the zombies themselves keep their abilities after they become zombies, they also can, in a sense, like take on the memories of someone they've eaten. So like say Tony Stark eats Reed Richards. Now Tony Stark has some Reed Richards things going on in there, and he can do some not crazy, but he becomes more effective as a zombie. It's very weird to describe it, but yeah. And the zombies.
Also, this whole Marvel Zombies concept and story in the comics was co-written by Robert. I just went blank. I'm sorry. I interrupted you to go blank.
It's okay.
Robert Kirkman, the author and creator of The Walking Dead.
Which, if you ever read the original story, the Marvel Zombies is a lot more messed up. More in point, Peter eating Aunt May. Super messed up. Dear God, I had a flashback. But yes, the zombies themselves do end up in the comics pouring over into other timelines and other dimensions and kind of messing everything else up. And yeah, but we haven't seen that. The way the MCU did it is, I don't know how to describe it. I know how I felt when I watched it, but the way the MCU went about it, they took the concept of the zombies, but they, as far as everything that really happened within that storyline, they kind of just went like, cool, thanks, we're gonna do this though. And they put it in a point in time which I was at first confused about, of why they put it at the beginning of Infinity War.
Yeah, to kind of make it sync up with the MCU.
Yeah.
But
So-
the implications of what you said, where when they cross dimensions and timelines and all that kind of stuff, could be very important at this point in the MCU as well.
This episode made me realize something else as well of everything. And I think the next week's episode may confirm my thought. So let's just go ahead and start out. So it opens up with that classic scene from Infinity War of Bruce Banner as the Hulk after he got bodied by Thanos, getting beamed down into Earth to warn everybody of Thanos coming.
Right.
He still crashes into Sanctum Sanctorum like normal, but nobody's there to gawk at him in a hole. As he's like, Thanos is, no one's here. And he goes and finds clothes, walks outside to a...
You know what we forgot to do? Rate the episode.
Rate the episode?
Yeah. I was going to jump in where you were talking about how you were feeling about it, and I forgot to.
I'm going to give it 10 Baba Yagas out of 10.
Nice.
10 Baba
Wow,
Yagas.
10.
It was really good. I mean, they did classic stupid zombie movie stuff. I mean, stupid decisions being made by people.
Yeah.
Not stupid. That's stupid. Why they do, like, it's a dumb thing in zombie movies. But yeah. And Peter made sure that they knew that they did stupid things.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to give it... I'll give it 10. Well, I'll say 9 cloaks of levitation, because there was a lot of good things about it, but there were a couple things that just didn't fit in the timeline and just didn't really work, I think. Well, they just didn't make sense, you know what I mean? And we'll get to that.
Okay. Well, yes, where were we? We were Bruce Banner walking outside into a dystopian New York.
Guys?
Is anybody here? There's no kids, no sound. New York is sleeping for the first time in forever. So he comes.
I'm sorry. One more thing. I know I keep jumping in, and this is really rude. Everybody but Peter Parker came back, and of course Captain America came back to play their characters, and that might have something to do with Tom Holland just being busy filming, or it might have something to do with his contract with Sony and this being a Marvel property. That might be alluding to this being a different Spider-Man, because even his suit was not the Infinity War suit; it was the Marvel video game suit, or something to that effect, like Marvel's version of that suit.
So it wasn't his homecoming suit before he got taken away?
Right. Yeah. It's slightly different. It was that might be owned by Sony. So there's still some kind of little stuff about that.
Okay.
So I mean, technically, this Spider-Man in this universe might not actually be Tom Holland, like the Spider-Man we know. Just a version of it, just a variant of it.
Yeah, which is highly possible. So yes, he walks outside. No one's there, and as it does in Infinity War, Ebony Maw and Obsidian Cowl? Yeah.
Coal Obsidian.
Or is it Coal Obsidian? Coal Obsidian. Yeah. I just call him Obsidian. Cause big guy. Come out of nowhere, their own little.
Well, yeah, just like in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like,
and he.
You
Ebony
are blessed
Maw
today.
All creepy, like he likes to lick things that he shouldn't lick. Freaking hate his face. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Squidward.
So every time he dies, I'm slightly happier. So he comes in, and then Bruce, of course, at this point, him and Hulk aren't agreeing because Hulk just got bodied. So he's like, fam, you handle it. I'm tired of being your attack dog. So yeah, did all that, and he's like, oh no. Then magical old spark portal opens up, flies out silhouettes of Doctor Strange, Wong, and Tony Stark Iron Man. Yeah. I don't know why I said that, because he was the only Iron Man at the time. And, you know, they start beating them up, and then they start not beating them up. Instead, they start eating them. Yeah. And then you're like, wait, no, this isn't happening. This is happening. Guys, and the reveal of Tony's messed up face is something to gape in horror at, because I didn't, from the little art that they were posting, I knew that the zombies were going to be gruesome looking, but they were actually, like, they were one hint away from this episode not being rated whatever it was rated.
Yeah, they're getting progressively darker.
Yeah.
And so also just in the big, well, keep going. It's not this part yet. My bad.
Okay. So
get excited.
Zombie Iron Man, Zombie Strange, and Zombie Wong make their presence known, start using magic and other things to try and eat Bruce. Bruce starts running away, finally.
Yeah, and at this point, Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian have risen again. So it's like quick.
And there's, which, yeah, that is terrifying that they rise that fast. So, like, you know, in most zombie things, it's a little bit before eating folks start and everything. But these guys, they got.
I thought for sure he was a goner when they held him up like that. I was like, oh, he's gone.
Yeah. So it was insane. But yes, they can then Bruce run away. A cloud of something starts hitting him. He doesn't know what it is. And starts hitting the zombies, and they start disintegrating and disappearing. Turns out it's a whole bunch of bugs. I guess they were ants, because when she grew them, they were ants. Yeah. And
then she shot Tony's head off, and the dude ate his head.
Yes.
Anthony ate his head.
Anthony came up and said, I'm going to take this for later. This is lunch. Mom, I got lunch. And yeah, Bruce is terrified more of these ants than he is of the zombies at this point. And we have Hope Van Dyne, Wasp, coming in to save him, and then we get a jump back of how this all came to be.
Yep. And this is where the Watcher jumps in, and he says, like too many great catastrophes, this one sprang from a place of love and hope. Pun intended, maybe, because Hope Van Dyne, who happens to be, so the Pym family, or the Van Dyne Pym family, this is the second out of 5 that they are very central to the plot here. So I wonder how important they're going to be in the MCU moving forward, because these are supposed to be tied to the greater MCU.
I feel like they're going to have it within What If. Yeah,
and
because I feel like Ultravision is going to be there. Going to be a problem.
Yeah. And so the more we see the Watcher as it goes on, like he's less cloaked in like shadow and more like we see his form and him speaking, whereas before it was like kind of like a monologue, and you know his mouth wasn't moving. So he's getting more and more invested, it seems like, as far as like narratively as far in visually. So
because he sees it.
yeah, and this one, so typically there is a jumping off point. Remember in the very first, he's like, well, that's the moment, that's the change. Where it was, this decision changed things. And so as progressively as we go on, like he's explaining to the audience how the multiverse works and he's building towards something. Because in this one, like, okay, so in the other one where Hank Pym murdered the Avengers, the jumping off point happened long before we even saw, before we joined the story as the audience, and it was where Hope Van Dyne was murdered by Bucky. To be honest, you know, on that place where it was Black Widow in the MCU, and he shot through her to kill the Mark. But in this one, Hope died on that mission. Let's see. In this one, hey Ghosty. In this one, there was no decision made. It's just kind of.
It was happenstance.
Yeah, exactly. Janet just kind of stumbled onto something in the quantum realm, and
that she should have missed with.
Yeah, and so like something vastly different happened, like that was outside of like a proper decision made, unless it's something that we're not aware of yet, where like Kang or a Celestial was messing with DNA or something like that, you know, that created this virus.
Yeah.
Because of course the Eternals are coming up, and we know the Celestials like to mess with human DNA, and Kang, of course, lives in the quantum realm and operates in the
But she
quantum
contracted
realm.
it while in the quantum realm, which is the kicker.
Yeah.
So there are numerous ways she could have contracted it. But yeah. So I mean, yeah, it could definitely easily been like a Kang that was just fooling around with biology, trying to create a perfect soldier, the one that didn't need to, that could live off of anything, and didn't, you know, was nearly impossible to kill. Zombies. But yeah, she contracted it. She bit Hank. Almost forgot Hank's name. Bit Hank. He came back, and then he started jacking up everybody.
Yeah.
Well, they first
ate Scott. Hope got away.
They ate Scott, and I was like, "Oh no, that's all Paul Rudd gets."
You get the hand on the
classic
lot of
hand on the thing.
Yeah, a lot of like awesome horror movie tropes in this.
Yeah. And so then we go to the next scene, which is Bruce meeting with the remaining heroes, who, you know, like as the more and more I thought about it, I was like, dang, they could have just made this a whole movie by itself. Like this one, more than the others, could have just been a movie by itself.
Yeah.
And they could have did whatever they wanted with it.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in the background, because during this time, we still had, so this was right between Civil War, and Cap still had full beard, and Natasha still had her blonde hair, and they must have come back, and like he didn't even have his shield at this point, so he came back, and him and Iron Man made up, and he got his shield back or something.
Because they saw the greater threat, and they were like, all right, let's do this. Avengers got to save the world. Black Panther was with them. So, yeah. Like, and that's two Chadwick Boseman voices. That's 2 of the 4.
2 of 4.
Sadder.
5 of 9.
The Avengers go to San Francisco to try to stop it, because that's where, I guess, the first city to fall to the zombies, because, you know, that's where Hank and all them were. And
that's where Hank is. That's where Shang-Chi is. I wonder if we'll see Shang-Chi in Shang-Chi, because it rhymes with Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see him make an appearance this season, or if it'll be next season.
It might be next season.
Because he's in. I mean, he's in San Francisco.
Yeah, because I mean, Shang-Chi kind of has the same thing that happened to Black Panther. They probably didn't, but they probably learned from Black Panther involving this. They didn't realize how big Black Panther was going to be, but I think with having a fully, this being like their fully second full ethnic movie, where majority of the actors are like one race, they kind of didn't put they put the horse before the cart this time, and they were letting the bandwagon go, and then see who all jumps on it, and then they'll be like, all right, yep, we're right, here we go, we're gonna jump on it too with y'all. So, because that's the main reason Black Panther. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, I think next season we'll definitely see him, because in the movie, it just now kind of showing what his purpose is going to be, and I dislike it a lot, but they're showing what his purpose is going to be. So.
Yeah. We're going to be skirt on that just because this first week it's been out. A lot of people haven't had a chance to see it yet. So even though we said spoilers, we're going to try to skirt from that.
And it's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down tonight.
Yeah.
So, but yes, you have Hope that's there. You got Peter. You got Bucky. You have Sharon.
Okoye.
Weird choice.
Yeah.
Okoye. Bombay. You got Happy Hogan.
Michonne. Denai Guerrera. Apocalypse Queen. Zombie Queen.
No.
In another story written by Robert Kirkman, inspired by Robert.
No hair in a spear or dreads in a sword. She said, I got this.
She straight up sliced Falcon in half, as Michonne would do.
I was so happy. So happy. So happy.
Bucky was not the least bit upset about that. This was before they made amends, you know.
That's cool. Oh, I mean, he was trying to eat me. It's cool.
I should be upset, but I'm not.
Yeah. So yeah, but
yeah,
being Peter Parker, he.
I'm sorry. I thought it was like that. Kind of sucked. That freaking tiny Hank Pym, just like a little nibble on Cap's neck, and then took him down. Like he didn't even have a chance.
I was like, that's very unfair. Why do y'all get to keep using your powers? That's so unfair. But
yeah, they like Hank Pym is OP, man.
Hank Pym is OP. Get up in there, enlarge, you're dead.
Yeah, and Hope really kind of lived in that space too in this episode.
Yeah. She disintegrated zombies.
And I guess it just shows how much of an idiot Scott really is. He's just like, okay, let's do it. He's not really smart about it, you know.
Oh, it's like that time. It was a Justice League episode where Flash and Lex Luthor switch bodies, and then Lex Luthor's like, dude, do you realize how powerful you are? I can vibrate my fingers and put them through someone's head and kill them. You're dangerous. You're real dangerous. It's like, realizing a hero's power in a villain's hand is not a good thing.
Yeah. Which is kind of like why Doctor Strange is a more powerful Sorcerer Supreme, because he's more creative with it. Right?
Yeah. To a certain extent.
Even though he's super reckless, and if that's really him in this trailer, Spider-Man trailer. Anyway, sorry.
So yes, Peter does Peter Parker things, quoting movies, and going through introducing everybody in a really home kind of way. That was really fun.
I can't skip the part where the Watcher said, "Oops, that happened." about Janet taking Hank out. Which, I mean, if you look at the lore of their relationship, like he's been asking for it for a long time. So that was kind of, yeah.
It was. So, but yes. So then they come up with a plan to go to this shield base, try to find this cure, and
yeah. Oh, sorry.
huh?
I've got notes. My bad. So Peter's video was very reminiscent of the Zombieland opening, and there was another little Zombieland nod when Sharon was killed, and Hope was like, ugh. And Koye was like, the kid has hand sanitizer. And in Zombieland, after they dumped Bill Murray's body, they're like, anybody got hand sanitizer?
Yes.
Anyways. Sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, so then they end up going, wait, there was another guy. Who was the guy that didn't have powers, who talked with a real New Yorker accent?
What?
The guy who...
That's David Polka Dot Man. It's like, Baba Yaga! Baba Yaga! You talking about that guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
I could not recognize
I can't remember his name right now. And I can't pronounce the real actor's last name, so I'm not even sure.
He was one of... Okay, all right. I was trying to figure out, like, where the heck are you?
Yeah, he's Russian.
Oh! Okay, that guy. All right. Yeah, all right. Now then, okay. Yeah, he was there too. So it was a lot of, like, a few actual heroes and then a whole bunch of regular folks. Because, I mean... Happy is... He's...
Yeah. Happy's shirt, though. Saving myself for Thor.
So...
Blam!
They went to Grand Central Station to get a train to get to Jersey because this is bad. No one wants to go to Jersey.
Something else that's bad. So, being a New Yorker, because, you know, once a New Yorker, always a New Yorker. Grand Central Station does not go to New Jersey. Penn Station goes to New Jersey. Grand Central Station is on the other side of the island. It's on the other side, going towards Queens, not towards Jersey.
Did they go? Which way?
They went to Grand Central Station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was maybe in their universe. I don't know, but I know from my own experience, when I wanted to go to Jersey, and I was like, oh, cool, this is a perfect opportunity for me to catch a train from Grand Central Station
to Jersey.
No, it doesn't work that way. I had to go to Penn Station. Penn Station is not as glorious as Grand Central Station, let me tell you.
I think
and the trains, as far as I know, the trains don't use fuel. They use electricity. Because I mean, I know the subway trains do. I'm pretty sure the tram to Jersey also uses electricity, not fuel. So, oh, we ran out of fuel. What do you mean by that? Just momentum? Okay. Sorry. But yeah, so that's like, you know, the couple things I was like, that doesn't really make sense.
I get what you mean. But for literally person everything they said, I was like, yeah, that checks out. Oh yeah, okay. I mean, train needs gas. I get you. But dang,
the third rail, man, the third rail.
So yeah, I got it. They did it for anyone.
It's a different kind of train, but I still think it uses electricity. I'm not 100%, but
I got you. But yeah, real talk. I mean, I knew Penn Station was a thing, but I didn't know where it was in New York, and I thought Grand Central Station, because it's called Grand Central Station's like, oh, that's how you get everywhere in New York. You go there. But I get it. I understand. Dang.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And there's also the Port Authority that goes other places.
What? No, stop. We're not learning about trains today.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Port Authority, you can catch buses and other stuff too.
Buses. Oh yeah, buses in New York because no one really drives. But everyone drives, but no one drives. But everyone drives. Oh.
It's not fun to drive in the city. Just to leave Manhattan, you gotta take the Lincoln Tunnel, and it is horrible. It's no fun. No fun. I had to drive a large U-Haul truck down these streets where cars are parked like this close to each other, and yeah, it was a nightmare.
Okay.
When I moved there,
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
Okay.
that's off topic.
I think I drudged up some memories for Dylan.
I actually, when I was like trying to find where I was going, like my mirror kind of bumped somebody else's mirror, and I just pumped the gas real hard because I had no clue where I was or what neighborhood I was in. I was like, I am in the middle of Brooklyn somewhere, and I am gonna die. This white boy driving around Brooklyn.
He said, "Not today."
It's like, just go.
Hilarious. Okay. But yes, they went to Grand Central. Everybody, Okoye has the number one zombie movie thing that you do, but you're not actually supposed to do, because it will always get at least 2 people killed.
Yep.
And that is split up.
Yep.
Peter's like, should.
And even after he called it, they're just like, what? And so, like, we know that they have zombie movies in this universe because in WandaVision, they were screening Night of the Living Dead or Day of the Dead or something up. I think it was Night of the Living Dead. Up on the screen at their Halloween festival.
Yep. And also, Peter was like, have y'all not seen any zombie movies? This is like the number one thing you don't do.
And it's so funny that he's speaking to Okoye, who is Michonne, which is like the zombie apocalypse princess.
Yes.
And she's just like, what? It's I don't know. I just thought that was really funny. It had to be Okoye.
Had to be.
I'm so glad that they put her in that.
You try to take the girl out of the zombies, but you can't take the zombies out of the girl.
Yeah. Rick would be proud.
Rick would be proud. You mean Namor? I'm kidding. No, I don't want that.
No.
What was I about to say? Yeah, so everybody splits up. Happy goes with Sharon, and Happy...
I'm sorry, my brain is trying to cast Andrew Lincoln in the MCU now. Sorry.
Happy goes blam, blam, blam because he heard rats, and then he was like, oh, there's nothing. And then he gets an arrow through his chest.
So birds... Birds show up and flock Happy right before Falcon shows up. And it's kind of a nod to, in the comics, he has a mental connection with his Falcon. He kind of controls the bird.
I hate Falcon so much. Just like Falcon so much. But yes, Happy gets shot through the shoulder, and at this moment,
So
I'm like...
It's fair to say you Falcon hate him so much.
Yes. At this point, I'm like, this show is no longer for children. I mean, it was already doing zombies, but this is a bit much.
Yeah.
He got hit with a grappling hook arrow. He gets yanked in to the darkness where we know he just got hit.
One last blam. It's like blam, 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 blam. Blam.
And the blams go quiet. All you hear is wah, 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 wah. And Hogan and Hawkeye come out with Hawkeye, I guess, commanding a whole bunch of zombies.
Yeah. And like, that's another instance, like, Happy turned that quick. Like, and like immediately looked zombified, you know? I mean, of course it's animated, but, you know.
Yeah.
Like, this is some serious virus. I don't know if this is... So in the comics, the virus was called the Hunger. I don't know if this is the Hunger. This is crazy.
Yeah. They didn't give it a name. They just said a virus, but, you know, nods and Easter eggs and all that. But, yeah. So then Hawkeye then proceeds to shoot Sharon also in the shoulder, which...
And then he misses, which is very interesting because Hawkeye never misses.
Yeah.
He hit one in the wall next to her.
I think part of him, like part of who they are is in there, but the virus is in control and, you know, body decayed, blah, all that.
Yeah. And then they don't go into detail like how much of themselves, because in the comics, you know, they were themselves. They just had this like insatiable need to eat.
Peter eating Aunt May while crying. I'm back. I'm terrified again.
Yeah. This one, they didn't seem to really speak. They just kind of... They were still themselves and had their powers or whatever.
Oh, yeah, they had their powers. And knew how to use them in messed up ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Long lost his head. Same way he took Cole Obsidian's arm.
Yes. Nice little nod. So zombies start coming in. Falcon then comes in. Falcon with one arm. I don't know how he died, but I can only assume it was horrible. Yay.
Not a fan of Hawkeye, are we?
It'd be fine. Didn't see Zombie Widow at all.
Not the first time Hawkeye's died in NC. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm rambling.
So then everybody gets their, you know, a zombie pairing and starts to fight off zombies and everything. Okoye splits Falcon in half. Yay. They finally get the train. Like, you know, who else did they lose in the train station? Was it just Happy? I think it was.
Yeah, because
it was just Happy.
Yeah, and yeah, because Sharon got away and she took Happy's. So yeah, you know, the glove that Iron Man used in Civil War that Happy had. Yeah. Sharon got that after she.
Yep.
Sorry, Happy.
Actually, he Happy with the blam.
She actually said blam too.
And it was a lot of intense moments.
Yeah, I love. They kind of like balanced the darkness with like this tongue-in-cheek humor, which was really nice.
It was. Oh, the cloak is there. I keep forgetting about the cloak.
Yeah, because they were trying to get the train started, and of course he couldn't turn into Hulk, so Peter had the idea to like pull and build leverage, and then they would trigger or let the brake off and sling the train out. But Peter, at the last moment, like apparently his Peter tingle isn't very strong yet still, because them zombies got close before he even realized what was going on, and he was saved by the cloak at the last minute.
At the last minute, and then, which I guess from all the little pictures, or if you like it, look at the season picture for Marvel What If, In the corner, you have the Spider Supreme wearing the cloak. I guess that was this moment.
Yeah, I'm assuming. And even Hope, like they even kind of teased at it too, that, you know, do you think I could, you know, grow into it or something like that? No.
Yeah, I could pull it off.
Yeah, pull it off. Yeah, Hope. Yeah. And Hope was like, yeah, you could grow into it.
Yes. And meanwhile, Sharon in a car by herself, because of course she is intercepted by
power broker deals.
is intercepted by Zombie America. And Zombie America makes Quick Zombie out of Sharon, who is also his niece, I guess.
Yeah. You know how much he loves his Carter women. He had to get a piece of that. I could go further, but I won't.
So then she...
I think this was probably, as far as I could tell, this was like the best rendered zombie to me.
Yeah.
Wanda looked pretty badass too. Cap was legit.
Cap was perf. Bucky comes back there. He tosses Sharon to the side like she's nothing. and
that was rude. That was so rude.
It was very rude. It was like, huh. And
after Falcon and the Winter Soldier, she deserved that though.
He proceeds to fight Captain America for what we could only assume would be the final time, since he's already dead. And
it's the end of the line.
They do some Captain America Winter Soldier things, catch the shield, do that, shoot a gun, lunge at him with a bite, all the good jokes.
Yeah, he punched his jaw and that jaw went like whoosh.
Yep. And it was like, oh wow, that's really cool. But a zombie with super soldier serum is terrifying. So Bucky was able to get hold of the shield, threw the shield, split him in half.
Which is a callback to the comics, right?
Yes. Oh man. Dylan, I don't want to cry again. But yeah, split him in half. He falls out of the moving train. Bucky gets the shield. He says goodbye to his friend, and he goes about his way.
Yeah. So something else I forgot to mention is Bucky also has his black Wakanda arm, so they must have enlisted him as well for all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, up to the ranks, kid. Yep.
Which is weird because Okoye seemed to have just showed up in this episode. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, why would Bucky have his arm and be out there without Okoye? Well, unless Okoye was guarding Wakanda and only came out when T'Challa came missing or something. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just talking.
She probably came out because whoever was with the Akuna Malaje that was with
Akuna Matata. What? Akuna Malaje.
That's what I said. I said Akuna Malaje.
All right, that's
Who was with Bucky?
That's a clip.
Who was with Bucky probably died, and then she showed up because she's also like, well, he's here. He might know. Let's see. Where are the Avengers? Zombies? All right. Well, I guess that's where I'll start. And what else? Yeah. So.
Also, this Camp Lehigh is also the place where Cap was training in the first Avenger, and the place where him and Natasha went back to and found Zola and his algorithm, and it was one of the bunkers was destroyed. Remember? So this has to be a different bunker, or maybe that's why the fence was torn, or maybe that just hadn't happened in this universe. Yeah, because this was right after Civil War, before Infinity War.
Yeah.
So it actually should have been pretty fresh.
Should have been. But it wasn't. But yeah, then they Hope goes into Sharon, explodes because fan service. That's
Yeah,
what they want to do.
that's what we want to see to happen to Thanos. So, I mean, that's our answer. I mean, it would have worked. It would have worked.
It would have worked. The answer is yes, it would have worked. But she didn't realize she had a tear on her shoulder or on her arm of her suit. Some of that, they explained earlier in the episode that the virus is passed by saliva, so don't get bit, and blood. And I'm sure saliva got into that cut.
That makes sense.
So the turn wasn't instant for her.
Yeah.
This was the first time where the turn actually took time.
Yeah, which is another trope but she didn't hide it, so they could have played with that.
Yeah. Well, everybody saw it. They pointed it out. There's no point in hiding it.
What? No. Yeah, that's true. I guess. It was only like a 33-minute episode, so they couldn't. That would have been interesting. I don't think Hope would have.
Couldn't drag it out forever. Yeah. So.
That would have been interesting if maybe like Banner saw it and he's like, "Don't tell the others" or something like that. That would have been kind of played. I mean, they could have just made it work for a couple seconds before they actually.
Yeah. This is another point where horrible decisions were made. Yes, this is the other point. So train stops. They are in front of the base, but
before we go that far, so while they are surrounding Hope and they're saying her temperature is going in the wrong direction and it's not good, I guess it's so like right. She asked Peter, how do you keep it going? How do you do this? And he's like, watch all these zombie movies or horror movies. But, she's asking, how do you keep Hope alive? How do you, which is, I guess, a play on words because she's dying. It's dad jokes, just like Scott. My bad. Hold on. There we go. I earned that one. Peter mentions all the people in his life that have died, and he's going through this list, and we get the first canonical mention of Uncle Ben in the MCU.
Is it?
Yeah.
He didn't say anything in Homecoming?
Well, we saw the suitcase that had BFP on it, and that was like the only reference to Ben Parker that we've had.
Huh. Okay, well, first Uncle Ben reference. Yep. That's weird.
Yeah, and it was also kind of weird that he was mentioning all these people, and he's like, my mom, my dad, Uncle Ben, Happy, I've lost all these people, and I was like, what about Aunt May? And then he's like, well, like my Aunt May always says, or used to say. It was like almost just like an afterthought. It was like, why are you gonna do May like that?
Because she tried to eat his brains this time. And he probably just hogtied her. And she's just sitting at home. That's why he really wants to cure.
Rubbed her up.
Yeah. She's on the ceiling, just waiting.
With her fine self.
But yeah. So
another
then,
thing he's got in common with Shang-Chi is hot ants.
Yeah. To continue the trend. But then Hope makes the very, 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 very extremely dumb decision. Extra dumb decision. To, I'm dying anyway. I'm just going to carry you guys across.
Well, I mean, that's also like a kind of a trope, too, is like, I'm going to go out like a hero type thing. But I know what you were getting at.
There's 5 different ways to go about it. So many other ways.
Yeah.
Peter could have slungshot everybody across. She could have slungshot folks across. There were so many ways to go about it. But she said, no, get in my hand. I'm going to go giant. Well, I'm going to go giant, get in my hand, walk across, kick a zombie here, step on a few here, do a 2-step, and
yeah.
Then get
knowing
to the fence.
that, like, in Ant-Man and the Wasp, when Scott met Goliath, he was like, how big did you get? And he was like, I slept for 3 days after. Like, it wears you out. Like, the whole joke with, like, orange slices, you know, that he's got to rebuild his energy after that. So it's like, she's already dying, and she's going to go giant?
She's going to expend the rest of her literal life force to go big, to put them over a fence, and then be like, oh no, zombies are on me. And
not to mention, they keep their powers. Get out of the damn suit.
She could have shrunk. She could have went back to normal size, at least. At least do that.
Well, I mean if she kept her powers, then technically she could still shrink and get big. That's what Hank Pym did it when he was a zombie.
Yeah. They could shrink and get big, but she just stayed
you don't want
big.
to give that to the enemy, so I mean, like,
she just stayed giant.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
So like when she fell, like they were just like, oh, instead of
like, oh,
man, we should probably kill that brain so she don't come back and step on us in 2 seconds because they turn so fast.
Yeah. And you know she got bit several more times after that. Definitely. Yeah,
they were like climbing all up her legs and stuff.
Yeah, zombie definitely got in her mask because one of them was already up there like, I'm a bust through this because it's glass and I'm a zombie and that's literally in the handbook.
Yeah. So I wonder, like, okay, so this is just me being a geek about it, but so one of the things that makes Ant-Man so powerful when he's small is because he keeps the same density, right? Because his, mass and all that kind of stuff. So when he gets big, it's not the same density, obviously, because, he can step on stuff and throw stuff and all that kind of stuff. But what about all the, like the glass on her goggles? The zombie just punched through it. Shouldn't it have been more dense? Or thicker, at least?
Maybe the same thickness. If it got bigger. Yeah.
I mean, like if I made my glasses big, would the glass still be as thick? Or would it change size? I mean, the plastic gets thicker. I mean, or, your frames, everything gets bigger. Is it just more brittle that big?
And also
because the atoms are further apart? Because I mean that's the logic when they go small is they're dense because the atoms are so close together.
But then when they're bigger, it gives out. They give out quicker because everything's stretched to the point where it can't stretch anymore. So it should be more brittle, if anything. But I think it's just relative to the thickness they were when you were normal size.
Yeah. I guess, so I guess that makes sense. If it's bigger, then it would be more brittle. Because, I mean, that explains why they run out of energy so fast, is because they have more, breathe more air and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Poor Andre the Giant. But yes.
Yeah. R.I.P. Everybody want a peanut?
So she sacrifices herself dumb, and they make it into the base. Realize zombies are not coming after them, and they're like, that's weird. I don't know what that's about. They then go into the base itself.
Yeah, well, they Yeah, they met Vision, but also they're the huge Baba Yaga tease right there gave Wanda away.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he said Baba Yaga, I was like, son of a bitch. Scarlet Witch.
The guy, the other guy that was there. The other guy that was there the whole time, he was like, yeah, they're staying away. It's the power of Baba Yaga. And then they go see Vision. Vision's like, hey. And they're like, hey. And then he turns around a chair, and it's Scott's head. He's like, yeah, I cured him. Turns out there's this frequency that keeps them away.
Futurama Scott.
And Scott's up there just telling jokes and having a good time. And I'm like, where's the rest of you, though? The entire time, I was like, where's the rest of your body? What happened?
I guess maybe he fed the rest of Scott to Wanda before he started taking chunks of T'Challa.
Well, I mean, he would have had to cure him first. So, yeah, he could have cured him, sedated, and put his head in the thing. Or he just took the head and then cured the head. Because zombie don't eat zombies, or else they just be eating each other all the time.
Yeah.
They want to eat living flesh.
That leads to another question I have is in Peter's intro video, he did say that you had to kill the head. Yet on multiple occasions, they don't kill the head. Like they just... Because like Wong's, they chopped Wong's head off, you know, and on other ones, they, you know, just...
I think that's because of two things. One, you know, that the rating, so they don't want to have too many headshots zombie things. The other thing, I think they want to try and find a cure. So, you know, reattaching your
that's true because this whole this whole trip was about finding a cure.
Finding a cure. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So reattaching your zombie friend who.
So that I mean that just like also like she didn't give a shit about Falcon. She cut that sucker in half. Like
and of course Sharon blew Happy's head off. So,
yeah.
Man,
she
like sorry about you.
Sometimes there's just no other choice, and you gotta live.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah. What is the other reason? Because I'm pretty sure they may have died or got bitten, but it would have been really dangerous just trying to fight their way through all of them. But they don't want to just end up slaughtering a whole bunch of people and then turns out, oh, there's a cure here. We can save everybody. Yeah. We just wiped out.
At some point, do you really want to bring that back? Because like we talked about how fast they turn, and Happy immediately looked like a zombie when he turned, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yet Scott, who turned, and we don't know how long, he was a zombie.
3 weeks at least.
Yeah, before Vision changed him back, and I mean, he didn't look zombified or bad skin or anything. Nope. Of course, you know, animation they're
playing with dead, not dead.
You sure it wasn't the reality stone that he had and not the mind stone?
But yeah, so then from there, who went off? Somebody went off. Was it the same Russian guy?
No, it was Bucky. And so he's like, you know, I'm gonna start looking for this or whatever. And Vision is like, Bucky, you might not find what you're wanting to find. Like very ominously, yet Bucky didn't even check up and be like, wait a minute, why are you being creepy, Vision? He's just like, yeah. I'm just gonna go keep looking.
Cool, but I can kill things.
Yeah, nobody else was just like, wait a minute, or even Peter, that's been like, you know, catching all these references. It's like, wait a minute, why are you acting so weird, bro?
Yep. Only 30 minutes, so they can only do so much. But
true.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see the outtakes of things like that they had planned or extra jokes. I just give me the outtakes of Scott's jokes. That's all I want. All the things they could.
Paul Rudd. Headred? Paulhead? Oh, we'll get there. Scotthead? Headlang? We'll get there. But yes, so
Head
Bucky
Avenger,
goes
for
off.
Sure.
Bucky goes off, and he happens upon two people, one dead, one alive, one missing a leg, one a zombie. He happens upon King T'Challa, the Black Panther himself, who is like, yeah, fam, no, she's here, she's gonna get loose. And he's like, ooh, and glowing red, enter Baba Yaga, which is Wanda now. Wanda is now Baba Yaga. So yes.
Who has no reason to hold back on her powers, even though she's, like their powers a little deferred because they were zombies, but still very, very powerful.
Still very, very powerful. She is dumb powerful. She is insane. She is their queen. And out of all of them, she looks the least zombie, like the least messed up looking. So I think she just got a bite, and then she was just and Vision has been feeding.
He can't mess up looks that good.
Yeah, and it turns out Vision has been feeding teams of people to her. Like, they were not the first ones to show up there.
Yeah,
Vision.
I want to know like who else
showed up and got eaten.
Yeah, if it was anybody like that we know in the MCU, if it was just like random folks answering.
Yeah,
and that's another horror movie trope, or zombie movie trope. Like, of course, Terminus.
Cannibal things. Yeah, which is always a rough one. And Vision not seeing anything wrong with what he did. Excuse me.
Yeah, until Banner questioned him, and he's like, you know what? I think you're right. After after he sees Wanda in her full scariness. But, I kind of screwed up, guys. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
My bad.
Look, there's a next scene. Literally, there's a Quinjet over there. It's fully fueled. Just get over there. You know what? Take this.
Actually,
it should help
Quadjet. That's another nerdy reference. Quadjet was a precursor to the Quinjet.
Yes. So, and it's an old shield base. So, yeah. And so, shield base. Yeah, shield base. And so then he's like, well, here, use this to make a cure. And he Thanos himself and busted out the Mind Stone, handed it off, and died.
Yeah, which is interesting. It's crazy because, like, Okoye said that Wakanda was like the last human base or whatever, right?
Yes,
so
because of the force fields.
Right. So that entire time, like, Vision's answer was right there in front of him.
Yep.
With T'Challa, like, he's basically feeding his answer to Wanda, and that's also another comics reference because and that's also another comics reference because in the comics, T'Challa, they were chopping off body parts and feeding. Hank was feeding somebody. No, Hank was eating him, chopping off pieces. And then when Janet found out, he straight up ate Janet. Ooh.
Okay. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello? Hi. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Hank was eating T'Challa. Janet found out, challenged him, and then Hank ate Janet.
Yes.
Bit her head off or something like that.
And also, Vision and Wanda roles were reversed. Vision was like dismantled and just kind of hanging up there in parts, and he asked Zombie Wanda to kiss him one more time, and she was like, and then didn't die. But so it was, like I said, this whole thing is the MCU's story, you know, their version of how they want it to go. Okoye died at some point. When did she die? Who killed her?
Yeah, so when they're escaping, before Vision Thanos himself,
yes,
they're trying to escape, and Wanda, we get Wanda versus Spider-Man and all of them trying to hold her off, and as they're trying to escape, she pulls Okoye back, and she's like, "My king, Wakanda forever."
Yeah. I remember that.
And
it happened
then
really
we get
fast.
and then like Scott's head gets knocked off, but he's once again the cloak of levitation comes in clutch and saves him, and then we get the pretty cool little Harry Potter reference.
The Ant-Man Supreme. He has no hands. So yes, then Peter, T'Challa, one-legged T'Challa, and Scott's head and the cloak of levitation are all that's left because Bruce says, "All right, dude, homie, let's."
Well, before
let's
that, Bucky tries to hold her off too because Vision buried the bunker.
Tossed.
Yeah, Vision like Mind Stone lasered the bunker and made it collapse on itself, and she still came out. And then Bucky was like, "I got this," and then she yeeted Bucky. So he might still actually be alive because we've seen him fall out of an airplane and be fine. And he had the shield, so maybe he could just land on that like Cap has several times.
Yeah, he could. Bucky could still be alive. Just
unless she yeeted him up in the middle of the zombie field. But he's got that arm, so he could lead with that and the shield. He could probably.
He has a lot of things where he could survive. Yeah.
And he's a super soldier. On top of that, so.
He does it right. He's fine.
He's the Winter Soldier.
Super Winter Soldier.
I guess. I mean, after being yeeted, would he technically be the Fall Soldier? I'm doing it again.
Okay, that's warranted, I guess. All right. So yes, oh man. Then Bruce Banner, finally, him and the Hulk come to agreement.
She tries to bite him first, and Hulk, like his arm turns green, and makes his arm impenetrable because Hulk's skin is impenetrable. Even though the Abomination did pierce his chest, and there's like a permanent scar there where he drove his elbow spike into it in the first Hulk movie.
10 years ago? I don't know. But I don't have any response. But yes. Then Bruce Banner, Hulk come to an agreement. They run up on Wanda and other zombies surrounding them. And they start fighting them. And he doesn't go like that. And that's it. They fly off.
Oh, man.
Him just there fighting.
And so Peter never got the moment where Tony knighted him as an Avenger. So now Banner has made him an Avenger. So he's officially an Avenger now. And also, they're holding the Mind Stone by the adamantium casing around it, that like part of his, Vision's skin. So they're not actually touching the Mind Stone, which is
vibranium.
Vibranium, yeah, that's it. Adamantium is not a thing yet. They haven't mentioned it as far as I know. So the vibranium casing around it, because they can't touch the Infinity Stone because it almost killed Peter. So they kind of made a big deal out of that. Until they don't, obviously.
Kill. Jane Foster. I was like, who else did it almost kill? Jane Foster. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So also, there's the car won't start trope, where T'Challa's trying to start the quad jet. It's like,
oh yeah. And then it dies, and then that whole, are they actually gonna make it, or are they just about to get swarmed? Yeah.
I mean, I really wanted to see that battle play out between Hulk and Wanda, That would be insane. Like, you could just do the whole episode on that. I would just like, I want to see that happen.
Who knows? Maybe in a death battle.
Yeah. If we get a sequel,
yeah,
might be a thing.
Well, so that brings us. So okay, super real quick. Last sentence. There's words said over. It basically zombies things. They make it to Wakanda. You see zombies panning, silhouettes of zombies panning at the force field as another zombie movie trope. And the last scene of the episode is zombie Thanos surrounded by hordes of zombies with the Infinity Gauntlet and 4 stones. Maybe 5, because I didn't really see his thumb.
Yeah. So that's another big thing that why I took it down a notch is because first of all, as far as like the way Infinity War plays out, he sent Ebony Maw to the Sanctum Sanctorum to get the Time Stone from Doctor Strange. They did not succeed. Obviously, we saw that.
Yes.
So he's still got the Time Stone. How did Thanos get the Time Stone? And he's in Wakanda. At this point, he's still in his ship in the sky, and there's the donuts coming down, right? The big thing, right? Peter's on the bus, and his hair stands up.
Well, they came. The donut wasn't there.
Right.
They came.
So things
down
played out differently. But as far as like where Thanos has just, as far as they know, they don't know what's happening on Earth, obviously, because Hulk has just left their ship and been sent to Earth by Heimdall through the bridge, the Rainbow Bridge, and or not the Rainbow Bridge, but yeah. Anyways, the
Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah.
The Bifrost, which
the
is
Bifrost.
the
Yeah, exactly. So as far as we know, we're led to believe that everything that's happening on that end is exactly the same. Where Loki just got killed, Thanos whooped Hulk's ass, and that's why he doesn't want to come out. So then he sends Maw and Cole Obsidian to go get the Time Stone, and then he sits up there, and then from that point, the only reason he goes to Wakanda is because that's where Vision is, because they took Vision to Wakanda to try to extract the Mind Stone. But that's not where Vision is. So why didn't Thanos go to this camp where they were? Lehigh.
What camp?
Camp. Yeah. Why did he go? Why did he go to Wakanda? There was nothing there he wanted. There was no Infinity Stones. He's got no reason to be in Wakanda.
He does have a reason to go to Wakanda. The Mind Stone's there.
No,
but
it's not. Because Vision had it. He was there when they got there.
He wasn't there when they got. It was a scene after. So the way I looked at the scene.
Yeah. So in the movie, Vision was there, and that's why he went. But in this, the Mind Stone wasn't there yet.
The way I looked at the scene, since it happened after they got there. Like, he got there zombified, and then Wakanda fell. Because he would have met he would have fought Gamora, got the reality stone.
Yeah, so all that's already happened.
But he didn't have the soul stone.
So he came to Earth to get the Time Stone and the Mind Stone. Is one of the last 2 pieces of the puzzle.
But he didn't have the Soul Stone, which means he got the Reality Stone in a different way.
He already had that because he got that back on where.
But the image they showed us, he was missing 1 stone, and that's the one in the middle, which is the Soul Stone of the image that they showed us. And he had the Mind Stone here on the end. Unless the one on the end is now the Mind Stone and the Soul Stone's in the middle.
I mean, yeah, unless they're playing with time, because it seems like the way it played out was they're flying into Wakanda because it's the last vestige of human hope, or it's the last human fortress.
Yeah.
But Thanos is already there as a zombie, and they're flying into a trap. They're flying there, and Thanos has already gotten there.
The way... Okay, so the picture, the way it looks, the stone on the end is orange. So... I still think he's coming there after, or he's coming to them. But because he would have went to he would have got Reality Stone, Soul Stone, went to Titan, what's his face? Ebony Maw wouldn't have showed up, so then he would have backtracked Ebony Maw's footsteps, then found the remains of Doctor Strange, which is just his clothes, which has the Time Stone. Takes that,
right? Because he sent Maw to go get the Time Stone. They brought Doctor Strange and Tony back to Titan, and then they had that fight on Titan where he ended up giving him the Time Stone. So he was still on Titan at this point. And then once he got that stone, he only needed one more, and that was the Mind Stone. And that's when he met them at Wakanda, because that's where Vision was.
Yeah. So them getting there, so he would have still had to come to Earth, because Tony and Doctor Strange got disintegrated at the beginning of the episode, along with Maw.
Yeah, so he never got the Time Stone.
He has it in the picture.
Yeah, so I guess while they're at Camp Lehigh, he's come back and gotten the Time Stone, and then gone. But that's my thing is, like, why would he go to Wakanda? Because the Time Stone or the Vision is not there. He's at Camp Lehigh.
He's looking for, because he got zombified at the same time. Like, he's on Titan. However long he's on Titan was long enough for the events of them going to do everything and then go to Wakanda with the Mind Stone in the little case.
So you're saying he got bit when he was retrieving the Time Stone in New York?
Yes, because the only reason he didn't come to Earth to begin with was because he trusted Maw to bring Strange to Titan. And even though Maw died, he still did it. But this time, Maw, nobody showed up. Nobody. So he's like,
no, they were all killed. Hope killed them all with the ants.
So nobody showed up. So he's like, well, then let me go to Earth and do this myself.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then
I get that, but then, so the only other one he needs is the Mind Stone.
Yes.
So from retrieving the Time Stone himself in Manhattan, at the where Doctor Strange was killed by the ants. Of course, the Agamotto is probably right there still. From that point, why would he go to Wakanda?
Because he tracked it. So the energy of the Infinity Stone.
But that's the thing, is that the Infinity Stone is not there. It's in Jersey with Vision.
I think you're thinking this is all happening at the same time. Because
Okay.
you don't know how long he waited on Titan before coming down.
Okay, so you're saying they flew to Wakanda, and then the scene where they showed Thanos happened sometime after that, after they had already arrived. Okay.
After they already arrived.
Okay, because the way it seemed to me was that they were flying in, and then it showed the zombies on the thing, and Thanos, like he was waiting for them, is what it seemed like to me.
Oh. Well, to me it was after. It was him then coming with his horde of zombies and his army to Wakanda.
Okay. I mean, that would make more sense if that's what they're doing, because I was thinking, okay, well, they're going to have a sequel where, or I mean, they could potentially have a sequel where they actually fight and win, but they don't have to win, obviously, because the last episode, they left that on a dark note.
Yeah. Well, this one was left on a dark note, too. But this episode played... So last thing. This is my very last thing. So they have presented a piece to the finale puzzle in every episode. In episode 3, it took me a minute to figure out what piece it played, but now I know. So, starting with episode 3, they introduced the strategist, Fury, but he no longer has his mightiest heroes. He's assembling something, but in a sense, he's a strategist without an army. Episode 1, Captain Carter, the warrior without a home. Episode last week, the magical the magical being who could possibly be the powerhouse, who is lost and in looking of redemption.
Yeah.
Wait, episode 2. What was episode 2?
That was T'Challa space
Yeah, T'Challa.
Star-Lord T'Challa. Yeah.
Yes. T'Challa, the leader who is literally born to lead, and can get literally anyone to follow him, literally. This episode presented not a good piece of the puzzle, but the bad piece. It presented the threat in the zombies and Thanos zombie with a nearly complete Infinity Gauntlet. And if he can breach Wakandan walls, get the Mind Stone and Wakandan technology, they can start conquering the multiverse potentially. And they would need a team or an army to stop them. And these next episodes, and then Party Thor would be the powerhouse, because I'm assuming he has to be strong.
Yeah, and there were rumors that Party Thor was going to be this episode, but or like there were leaks or something, but for whatever reason they kind of shifted it around a little bit. So I totally see where you're going, and that makes good sense. And then we also know that there will be the Ultron episode where he gets Vision's body and potentially creates like his army of Ultron bots, which also plays into the Marvel Zombies comic story.
Yes.
And that could be, I think you mentioned on another episode, where Fury might end up creating Ultron to try to combat these things, and then it just gets out of hand. Because we do see Vision ends up, or Vision's body, probably controlled by Ultron, has the Infinity Gauntlet. So if he were to take down Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos, zombie Thanos. Yeah, and get that from him, and then decide, you know what? Why do I need to answer for Fury?
Yeah, and then even with
they would just kind of spin out of control, and then the Watcher might have to intervene, and then you get the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yes. And this episode did show that the reason Vision was able to keep them off was a signal that he was admitting out that was making them just stay back. So in truth, if Vision really wanted to, he could have just started controlling zombies. And if Ultron was Vision and had the Infinity Gauntlet that has the Mind Stone, not to mention 2 other stones that can add on to that, you can have a zombie army.
This is true. And that's a whole nother strike against Vision, is that, he could have actually done something about the zombie horde, but he was too tied up in
love.
Wanda.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, the androids being in love, dreaming of electric sheep.
But yes. All right, well, that was all I had.
Yeah, this was a thick episode, man. It was dense.
Yes.
And it seems to be just like you said. It's compiling and it's working toward building the team, which we know from the promos that there will be a Guardians of the Multiverse unless that's just a Hyundai ad thing, which I really hope not. I really hope not.
Product placement at its best.
Yeah, that would suck. At the very end, it's just all them to come together just so they can drive a Hyundai. Gotcha. What if they all drove a Hyundai? So that's the final
Hey, stinker.
It would be. Yeah.
Howard the Duck just shows up. I know you're a stinker.
Yeah. That would be the Bugs Bunny thing to do. But
Yes.
Howard would fit that bill.
Howard fit that bill because
Fit that bill. He's doing it again.
oh.
All right, so yeah, we've been talking for a while, so we're not going to talk Shang-Chi this episode. We might talk about it another time. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I would love to talk Shang-Chi with you because I've got some things about it too that just processing things. I need to see it again. I need to see it again.
It's always bootleg. I didn't say that.
No, not gonna do that. The girls haven't seen it and they want to see it, so probably need to see it again. Do you have anything else? How it ties into the greater MCU or anything like that? Or obviously it seems multiverse.
We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll just have to see how the season ends as far as whether the Doctor Strange that we see is the Doctor Strange that we know and all that jazz, or it could just be Agatha all along. Who knows?
Wink, wink. The Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah, that's the only other thing that's in my mind because Shang-Chi things wants to come out, but I'm really holding them back.
Yeah. We could talk for another hour on that, probably.
Yeah. Keep it tame. Keep it tame.
All right. So that's all we got. Thank you guys for joining us. We hope that you will join us live for our shows every Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for FOMO Show MCU Edition, and every Sunday night at 10 p.m. where we talk each episode of The Walking Dead and the greater universe. So please like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon so that you know so you know when we drop new videos and when we go live, because sometimes it's kind of as far as like me posting and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of last minute and hit or miss because we work jobs and stuff. We don't just have a team. It's just me and Quinn. And so happy birthday once again, Quinn. Hope you had a good one yesterday. And also don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.pictures.com. That's going to be the new thing. So thanks and goodbye. We will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.